Hey everybody, let's talk about doing some selections and what I would do as I showed you in class. Okay, so we talked about all the selection tools. As we know, they're on the left-hand side. We have the marquee tools. We have the lasso tool. We have the direct select tool, or quick selection tool. We got all kinds of things. I myself am just going to tell you what I do, like I told you in class. So let's go over it again. So what you have to do is just select your actual, I just click on the picture, and you'll see down here in the bottom we have the bar that we talk about, and let's go select subject. Let the computer work. If it doesn't happen right away, don't worry about it. Just let it work because the computer's looking for the edges and trying to find and define things. As you can see, it did about an okay job, but I chose this one just because of this reason. So notice we have stuff here that we do not want to have here. We have this branch, we have part of the branch out here, and we're missing part of the tail. So here's what I would do to go back and correct it. I would go back to the actual lasso tool right here, as we have already selected, but I just want to show you where it's at. And then you're going to notice I have 4 squares up here, or 4 sets of squares. I have just selection tool. That means if I click select another thing, everyone else gets unselected. I have, add to selection. So if I do select more, you'll see more of that selection. Then we have subtract selection, and that's what we're looking for. We need to subtract some of the selection because it got overly aggressive. So let's click on that. And let's go ahead and start figuring out what we want to do. As you'll note, as you can see up in the white top, you'll see that there's a lasso with a minus sign. So just note, it also tells you what you're in. So it's in subtraction. Notice if I go to add, you'll see a plus sign. So let's go to subtraction. So there's your subtraction. Let's get a little closer by holding the control or the CTRL button down and plus. And notice it brings me in. I can hold the space bar down with one hand. I click, left click, and I can drag over. So I can kind of move things over. So I'm going to come down here, out near this front paw, and I'm going to draw around the bottom. And yes, I'm just using my hands, my skill set that I have. Bring it around, up and around, and back where we started. Boom. Notice it was all deselected. That's what we're looking for. Let's go a little closer, Control plus again. And it's not too shabby. If I wanted to, I can come back in here and get a little bit more detail, get that paw a little bit better. And I'm okay if you cut off a little bit because you know what? The audience doesn't know what's there. So you're telling the audience what's there. So again, I'm going to hold that space bar, hold my space bar down. As you can see, there's a little hand there. I left click on my mouse and I drag. And there's our next pieces. We've got 2 of them. We've got one right here. And let's come here and come around here. And we'll just come really quick around. Release, boom, and there it is again. A little bit too quick right here, so let's get rid of that. And of course, the better you do, or the better, the more detail you put into it, the better it's going to look, okay? So just don't do it a half job. Let's go ahead and hold that space bar again. Let's move back over here to the tail. Oh, no, got a little bit more here. So let's come here, bring it around. I'm going to get that piece right there. And let's see how that looks. Looks great. But see, I don't like how this point is like this, and I know it's part of it, but I'm going to go ahead and make an artistic decision, and we're going to get rid of that one there. And let's round that off a little bit. There we go. Nice. Let's come back around here, and now we have to add to the tail. As you can see, the tail's a little off. So we're going to come here. We're going to go to the new one. As you can see, it says plus now. I'm going to be down in the white bottom underneath the tail. You'll see the little plus sign. We're going to add to it, so we're going to start here. And if you can't do it all at once, don't worry about coming back around like this. And like this. There's the first one. And let's come around here and get this one. And we're going to stop here right there like that. That looks wonderful. Apologize for the horn in the background, but that's just what's happening. So there you go. So let's go Control 0. And notice we have our good selection. Now, we want to get to the mask part because the mask is extremely, extremely important. And with the mask, what we have to do is you'll look up top here where we have our 4 squares. Notice if you keep going to the right, it says Select and Mask. We want to click that button. And here's what's going to happen. We're going to go to a brand new window. As you can see, my tools have all changed. There's a red background, and we have properties off to the right, and that's all we have. Now, when you do it for the first time, yours is going to look like this. Yours is going to have an onion skin on it. So everything in the background that's not going to be masked has kind of that milky white color over it. It's faded out. It looks like there's a little bit of opacity set to it. While, as you can see, the piece that we've selected right here is actually nice and full and has robust color. So I'm not too good with my eyes. I'm getting older. So what I do is I come here to overlay, and I like to click my overlay. And as we click over here, you'll see under where we just were right here, you'll see an actual opacity. And you can mess with that if you like. If it's too bright red for you, of course you can turn it down. I like to see it so it's really close. So I'm usually at about 69, 70%. Okay, that's where we're going to stop first because we're going to go back to the mask a little bit in a minute. But this ends the video of how I use subject select, and I use the actual lasso tool to make things where I want it to be. Everyone have a good day, and wait for my next video coming out soon.